Hey there, this is Hillary McGlue of Wise Light Wellness, and I am welcoming you here tonight for, let's see, technical glitch here. Hang on. Bear with me here while I figure out. Here we go. All right, sorry about that. Here we are. This is Hillary McGlue with Wise Light Wellness. And I am here tonight to get your kids back to school happily and healthily using essential oils. I hang out online at wiselightwellness.com, and I am a holistic health and lifestyle coach, and I use essential oils in all parts of my practice. And I want to help you tonight learn a little bit about essential oils and getting your kids back to school. So welcome. First thing I'll tell you tonight before we get started is that you might want to have a pen and paper handy to jot down a couple notes, keep track of anything that we talk about, and though I'll be kind of going quickly. I want to respect everyone's time. I know everyone's busy, and I like to keep these short. So it would be, a good idea for you to write down a couple of good ideas or things that you hear that are interesting. And you can always follow up with me afterwards if you have questions, and you can email me at hillary@wiselightwellness.com. The same email that would have come to you tonight with the link to the webinar. And the other thing I wanted to say before we get started is that I did give folks the opportunity to request samples. And so I know that there are some people on the webinar tonight who had requested samples. And if it was sort of a late request, they would be not in your hands yet before the webinar started, and they are on their way to you. So I will give you a sampling of a few of the oils that we talk about tonight. And we will continue our conversation offline, and I will follow up with you one-on-one to talk to you about your thoughts about the webinar and your thoughts about the oils. So here we are. It's the middle of August. I wish that we were not talking about back to school right now, but I have 3 kids of my own, and that is the truth of the matter. And there are children I know in the Deep South, and I think parts of the Midwest, that are already starting back to school. And where I grew up in the Northeast and right here in outside Washington, D.C., we are starting after Labor Day. But that is the season. And it's also the season where we start thinking about kind of our own health and wellness as adults. So it's like the summer's coming toward an end, and we're all thinking about how we're going to stay healthy when we get back to school. Even if you don't have children, I feel like what happens is all the kids go back to school, germs get shared, germs come home, and then they get passed around the community at large. So whether that's, over to a parent who is in an office who then spreads it around to the office, all those sorts of things can happen. And so this is kind of, the focus is on back to school with happy, healthy kids and essential oils. And these are also tips and tricks to keep all of us healthy and well as we go into the fall and winter months. So why essential oils? Why am I an advocate about using essential oils, and actually very specifically the brand that I trust the most, I believe is the most potent and pure brand out on the market right now, is doTERRA essential oils. So I'll be talking about doTERRA essential oils tonight. I've used essential oils personally for probably over 20 years, from, run the gamut from aromatic use as perfume, to cleaning my home, to taking care of things like lice, which we'll talk a little bit about, with my kids, to now recommending them for my clients for certain things, and as well as in my own family now and for myself. So doTERRA oils are the best I've ever used. They're a natural home remedy. They're pennies per drop, safe and effective, and they're pure plant power, which I love. And what exactly are essential oils? Essential oils are kind of the hot topic right now, I think, in the wellness industry, in the wellness field. They've been around for thousands and thousands of years. This is the root of our medical system. We've used essential oils for everything, from beauty to keeping ourselves well, to perfumes, to religious ceremonies for thousands of years. And so this is not new stuff. They're aromatic and volatile plant compounds. They come from medicinal plants that we know to be therapeutic and medicinal. Citrus oils are cold pressed from the skin of the fruit, the rind, and all other essential oils come from the flowers, the roots, the leaves, stems, bark, etc., and are steam distilled from those parts of the plant. They're 50 to 70 times more potent than their herbal counterpart. What does that mean? That means that if you're thinking that you want to use peppermint tea to cure an upset stomach, you would have to drink 28 cups of peppermint tea to have the same benefit in the gut as 1 to 2 drops of peppermint essential oil, doTERRA's peppermint essential oil. So you can see that the potency of essential oils is very strong, and less is more often. That's something you'll want to write down. Less is more often. And something I always like to tell my classes in person or online is that they're awesome and they're not just hippie woo-woo magic. I have taught all up and down the East Coast of the United States classes about essential oils to all different folks. Out here in the Washington, D.C. area, we have people from all parts of all ends of the political spectrum and the social spectrum and all that kind of thing. And people are interested in essential oils because they work, because they work as fast and as effective oftentimes as other remedies, and they are less expensive and more safe. So people are stressed out, fed up, and tired, and want to hear about alternatives. So that's where I am. Well, that's where I come in. Okay, so what's next? Why choose doTERRA? I want to give you this 2-minute video, just we can watch it together. It really sums up in a great presentation the difference between why doTERRA essential oils versus other essential oils that you may see out there on the market, or even in your local shop where you pick up your other holistic remedies or that kind of thing. Let's see if this is going to play. Cool. So thanks for giving me your attention for that little presentation. Let me know if you have questions offline. You can send me an email. Again, that's a great video. There's so many portions of that video that I could love to expound upon, from the sourcing to the co-impact sourcing, fair trade with farmers, to the safety and all that kind of stuff. So any questions you have, make sure you shoot me an email, and we can take that discussion offline. So because we are focusing on our kiddos going back to school, I wanted to give you the back to school must-haves of essential oils. And what can essential oils do? Well, what can't they do, really, is the question. And the saying with my colleagues that teach about essential oils, other health coaches, and lots of other people, is there's an oil for that. And I find myself saying this frequently as I'm, even if I'm just hanging out with family or friends or in a situation, I don't always mention it, but a lot of times in my mind, I'm thinking like, oh, you could use essential oils for that. And why do I feel passionate about using oils? Because as a holistic health and lifestyle coach, I really teach people how to detoxify their life, everything from stress to relationships to food to, bringing back creativity and, detoxing from drama and situations. And so how we treat ourselves and how we keep ourselves healthy is part of that, and essential oils are a really beautiful way to be empowered in your own home, to have a first line of defense for common everyday things. Okay, so there's an oil for that. So what are the back to school must-haves? The back to school must-haves are lemon, lavender, peppermint, melaleuca, frankincense, and then doTERRA proprietary blends called Intune, Digest Zen, On Guard, Balance, and Serenity. And I'm going to take you through all of these pretty quickly, but I'm going to show you some best uses. We're going to talk about how to use them with kids especially, and give you some tips and tricks for using these essential oils. All right, so how do I use these crazy things? How do I use them? People always ask that first thing. I tried to squeeze a bunch of information in this little circle here. So aromatically, we're going to breathe it in, okay? This is ideal for uplifting emotions, respiratory support, fighting airborne germs, and boosting the immune system. You can use them, as you saw in the video, a drop in your hands, rub together, and just kind of breathe it in from the palms of the hands. That's great for kids. Sometimes I'll do that myself and have my 4-year-old breathe in the essential oil, but my 9 and my 12-year-old, I can give that drop of essential oil to their own hands and just show them how to breathe it in. And then I also use diffusers in our home. So it's a way of dispersing the air, the essential oils with cool water into the air. Topically is rub it in. So this is ideal for areas of discomfort or irritation as an immune boost. You can apply it to the affected area where there's pain or a scrape or a cut or something like that, or to the bottoms of the feet. Why the bottoms of the feet? They are larger pores on the bottoms of the feet, and it's also really pumping the blood to get back around in our circulatory system. It's a great place for the feet to absorb the essential oils and get them pumping throughout the system and really quickly. Within 20 seconds, typically, essential oils will be in our circulatory system, getting into the body where they need to be doing the work. If we're using them topically, especially with kids, I teach, dilute with a carrier oil and use very small amounts. We're talking 1 to 2 drops max, okay? Less is more often. If you have your pens ready, you can write that down again. I like to say that a lot. A carrier oil would be something like fractionated coconut oil, cold pressed coconut oil, grapeseed oil, jojoba oil, sesame oil, things like that. Even olive oil I've used before when I've needed to. Okay, so you would take a teaspoon of carrier oil and use 1 to 2 drops max of the essential oil and use that to rub into the skin. Okay. Internally, doTERRA essential oils are safe to use internally. You can eat or drink them. Use caution with kids, okay? And also, if you're inexperienced using oils, topically and aromatically are amazing ways to use them. And internally, they're definitely safe to use, like the citrus oils or that sort of thing if you're using them in raw protein power balls or raw granola bars or in salsa or something like that in like a homemade raw food dish. They can be flavor enhancing even for baked goods as well. So I would advocate for you to use caution if you're using them with your kids, and consult either me or the wellness advocate that invited you to this webinar, or just contact doTERRA directly if you have questions about how to use essential oils internally with kids. It's a different story for adults. We can use them, and I would invite you to come to another one of my webinars where I might cover that. For tonight, I'm going to just kind of use caution with the internal dose with kids, okay? So we're going to talk mostly about aromatic and topical use tonight. All right, so there's our top oils that we're going to talk about tonight. Let's zoom right in here to lemon, lavender, and peppermint. These are the three oils that are, so I said in our webinar, we talk about the oils that are top five for kids, and these are the three. I think mostly because they're gentle, they're pleasant for kids. The kids like the aroma. They gravitate toward them because they smell yummy and they like them, and they're gentle on the body, and they're great to use for kids. So let's just kind of go down the line. Lavender, I think, is probably the most famous essential oil, one of them that we all know and love. I got to tell you, I used to hate lavender. I grew up, I never liked the smell of any sort of lotion or essential oil or soap or anything like that. And we always had it in our house. My mom loved it. I never liked it. And until I opened a bottle of doTERRA lavender, and I realized that everything I had smelled up until that point was not lavender, or it had lavender fragrance mixed in or some other dilution mixed in to probably make it cheaper, or there was synthetic fillers. So doTERRA lavender smells just like you plucked off some lavender petals and we're rubbing them in between your fingers. It's a beautiful essential oil. It's calming. It helps for restful sleep, soothes skin irritation, wounds, or burns. This is kind of a go-to must-have essential oil in the house all year long. But especially as we're getting ready for back to school, the transition of summer and the anxiety that might be coming with like change in routine or new school year, new grade, all of that stuff. Restful sleep is going to be key in helping keep everyone happy and healthy, and lavender is great for that. So you can use it topically. You can massage it into the bottoms of the feet, massage it into the back, just kind of create a nice little routine at night for calming and cooling. You can also create like a bed spritz and do spritz on pillows and things like that. It's a really nice way to kind of bring everybody down to earth at night, right, for bed. It's also beautiful for skin irritation, cuts and scrapes, and burns. So any sort of burn or skin or cut or scrape, you can apply lavender, and it's really, really supportive of the healing process for skin. It's great. So lemon can be used for congestion, runny nose. Hopefully will prevent those things from happening. But if you do end up with congestion and runny nose, lemon can be great. And again, you can use it topically. And the thing with essential oils that's really neat is you can apply it to the area of the affected area, but you can also apply them to the bottoms of the feet, for example, and they will come into the body system and do the work that they're meant to do in the body. They don't necessarily have to be applied to the nose per se for a runny nose. You can apply the lemon oil to the bottoms of the feet. You can inhale the lemon oil and it will help remedy. It also removes sticky residue. So it's sort of like that stuff that's out on the market called Goo Gone. It's it will remove sticky stuff. It will remove gum from clothes and shorts, and ground into pants or crayon marks on the carpet or things like that. You can use lemon essential oil to remove any sort of sticky, waxy residues. Peppermint is great for nausea and stomach distress, which may come from nerves. Helps promote clear breathing and mental alertness. So peppermint's a great one. Any of the citrus oils, which are not highlighted tonight as well, but like wild orange and lemon and other citrus oils, along with peppermint after school, is great to help, or on the way to school and then after school, great way to keep everybody sort of alert and happy and feeling good. Citrus oils are really great at promoting a good mood and going into homework time. That can be a great thing to use for keeping everybody sort of happy while they're doing homework, things like that. Let's move on. Okay, we're going to go to Melaleuca. Melaleuca is, again, one of the top 5 favorite essential oils for kids. It's an immune boost. It's a disinfectant for wounds, destroys fungus, and it sanitizes. And I can't believe I forgot to type the word out, but lice. I was going to talk about lice and also owie spray. So going back to school, it's, brings back these stories of the secret lice dramas that we've dealt with. And I've done it a few times, and I know tons of other moms who have dealt with lice, and then either they don't talk about it with their friends or they do. I'm all like, I've got remedies. Let's talk about lice. And so you can use Melaleuca is awesome at lice removal or killing. And it's good, again, for sanitizing sneakers and gym bags and funky stuff that happens, and when we're not used to like being into a routine and things get left in our bags or gym shoes get funky, things like that. Owie spray is Melaleuca, lavender, and frankincense, 2 drops of each, and you can add it to like a 4-ounce spray bottle with water, and any type of cuts or scrapes is a great sort of first aid spray. Must have for sure to keep everyone happy and healthy. Frankincense, another must have in our arsenal of keeping our families happy and healthy. Frankincense is calming as well. It creates sort of peace and relaxation. It's great in a diffuser. It also is great for skin irritations and wounds. It can also support the body's breakdown of scar tissue. And again, it's a part of the owie spray. 2 drops of frankincense, 2 drops of Melaleuca, 2 drops of lavender in a 4-ounce spray bottle, and you can use that on your kids' cuts and scrapes. And then really frankincense is the when in doubt use ... So if something happens or you're I'm just trying to think of examples, your kid comes out and is really overwhelmed after school and needs to feel sort of grounded, you could use frankincense. Or if they have a cut or a scrape, you could use frankincense. Or if you don't really know what you should be using or what the problem is, you could give somebody a foot rub with frankincense. And I just kind of have it on hand all the time. It's our go-to, and it's a really beautiful essential oil. Okay, so I'm going to move into, so I talked about the top 5 single oils for kids, and then I want to talk about some blends that are great to have on hand as well. And these are doTERRA proprietary blends, although all of the essential oils that are in the blend are listed on the labeling. Intune is a blend of sandalwood and frankincense and some other essential oils in this roller ball, 10 milliliters. That's really handy. It's great for focus and attention. It's called the Focus Blend. Promotes attention. It's calming. It has a nice aroma. I like to use it sometimes as perfume. It has sort of an earthy sandalwood, has a bit of patchouli in there, and it has a nice calming aroma that I really love. And it's really great for keeping attention and focus. And so as our kids are going back to school, especially after, being out for summer vacation, I think everyone will struggle with attention in the beginning. But if you also know that your child struggles with holding their attention in general and their focus, and if that's a source of frustration or overwhelm, this blend of essential oils can be really empowering for the child as well to use themselves and say, hey, I'm going to put that on my feet, and I know it makes me feel better when I want to do my homework or I want to pay attention. So bottoms of the feet. This one is great on the spine and the back of the neck at the base of the skull, because it does have frankincense, which I didn't mention when I talked about frankincense, but frankincense will cross the blood-brain barrier. There's lots and lots of research around frankincense essential oil, and can really get into the brain to help with focus and these things. It's a wonderful one to have on hand. DigestZen is the digestive blend. This is a blend of all of the oils that we sort of know, herbs that we know and use for belly stuff. So fennel, ginger, peppermint, all things like that. Is amazing at quickly soothing the stomach. Again, it's kind of taking that peppermint tea analogy that I used earlier. So imagine all of the herbs that we know that are great for stomach stuff. And if you had to get your kid to drink, 28 cups of all these different teas or something to soothe a weird belly, or some heavy duty synthetic medicines that are, full of fillers and colors and preservatives and all this kind of gunk, and somewhere in there is the remedy, but it's surrounded by all this other stuff. And with the essential oils, you just get the straight up plant-powered remedy. So 1 to 2 drops of DigestZen. This one's more topical. Well, it's good actually. You can use it or aromatically, cup it within the hands for nausea. That's a really good one. If it's just kind of like motion sickness or nausea, you can use it aromatically, and it can help alleviate nausea. But for any sort of constipation or gas or bloating, whether it be from nerves or change in food or change in routine or that kind of thing, DigestZen's great at getting things, it can get things moving. So it's an awesome one to use on the belly. You can take 1 to 2 drops with some carrier oil and just do a massage on the whole belly a couple times a night. So if they come home from school and say they have an issue with their belly, you would do that, maybe 2 times before bed. So back to my saying again, you can write this down a 3rd time: less is more and more often. So if you're using 1 to 2 drops of essential oil, you would want to treat the issue more frequently. So instead of just taking a large dose of some sort of over-the-counter product, you could, one time, for the whole day, you would want to be doing, if there was an acute flare-up of a belly issue, you could do this a couple times from the after-school hours until bedtime hours. Maybe, every 2 hours, you could rub a drop or 2 of essential oil into the belly. Okay. On Guard. This is the favorite of mine, and anyone I know who has kids in school, who is a teacher, who travels, anytime, I'm sort of veering off the topic, but anytime you're in a crowded area with like people, lots of people, this is a must-have to have on hand. And so again, super immune boosting, kills germs, fights viruses. On Guard has been known to alleviate heavy duty super viruses that are passed around in hospitals and doctors' offices that are resistant to other medicines. And On Guard has been known to to fight those germs and viruses. And so this is a must-have. I use this in a diffuser during the going into the cold and flu season. At the first sign of any illness in my kids or myself, we run to this one, and we'll do, one, depending on the kid, 1 or 2 drops in a teaspoon of carrier oil massaged into the back of into the feet or to the back, or to if it's a issue where there's a sore throat, say, you could even massage it with lots of carrier oil into the lymph nodes and things like that. So this one, again, hands down, the #1 must-have for keeping healthy, for sure, as you go into the school year and into the fall and winter months. Okay. Balance and Serenity. So you can use these 2 separately, but they're great together. Balance is the grounding blend. Serenity is the calming blend. Balance is the aroma is sort of, it reminds me of the woods somehow. So there's like some fir, there's hoe wood, blue tansy. There's some nice grounding essential oils in Balance blend, and it has an earthy smell to me. Serenity is based, it's a lavender base, and there's also Roman chamomile and a touch of vanilla absolute along with some other essential oils. So it's sort of like a sweet lavender smell, like a lavender vanilla smell. To give you a visual, if you're not smelling oils in front of you right now. And so you can use them alone and separately. I love Balance. I have one in my bag. I use it when I teach yoga classes. I use it when I'm feeling that my kids are feeling overwhelmed, for sure. If they were just kind of like anxious, or actually my oldest is going into 8th grade and she just received her schedule. And so that put her right into like, oh my God, summer's over, school's starting, and then kind of spiraling into like, why aren't we going back to school shopping yet? Where's my list? What do I need? Oh my God, I need clothes. I have nothing to wear. It just kind of spirals. That's when I would bring in the Balance blend, and just either, sometimes I'll even just, while she's talking, I will take essential oils in my own hand and then just like rub them on her back or neck. Or sometimes even in the midst of a spiraling kind of situation like that, emotional spiral, I'll just like have her hold her hand out while she's still talking and rub her hands together and just kind of breathe in the oils. And we never cease to be amazed at how quickly things kind of turn around. So the 2 of these together, so say a drop of Balance and a drop of Serenity on the bottoms of the feet, is a great emotional support, helping your child to manage stress. It's a really calming and grounding combo. Anxious thoughts and behaviors, it can really start to help your child feel empowered around their emotions, because they know that they can turn to the essential oils and they're safe and they're effective and they smell good and they're nice and they make them feel good. And it can be really empowering for your child to know that they can themselves either come to you, or if you feel that you've educated them enough and you feel comfortable, if they're the age appropriate and their maturity, that they can have their own little box with their own oils in there, go to these oils to support themselves. And then you're setting them up for this sort of lifelong learning of their own body, their own emotional needs, their own stress management tools and things like that. And setting them up for success down the road because they can use the oils themselves. Breathe blend. So this is the respiratory blend. This is great for supporting, as it states, the respiratory system. It's anytime you have sort of, if you're dealing with any sort of allergens or congestion in the chest or things like that, where there's any sort of respiratory fatigue or respiratory constriction, this blend is amazing at opening up the airways. It has peppermint, it has cardamom, which is an expectorant, it has some really beautiful oils in there, and it smells really nice. I love it sometimes just to remind myself to breathe, like if I'm feeling overwhelmed myself, or if my kids are feeling overwhelmed, as we're all moving into this transition time. And you can just take a couple drops of the breathe oil in your hands and either teach your children how to do that, or you could rub it into your hands and hold it in front of their own nose and mouth and have them just take a deep breath. And really that act of breathing and taking that deep breath can go a long way in and of itself to promote well-being. And just take a few deep breaths. And what it does is open up those airways, so we're getting more oxygen and more support in the body. It's also awesome for sports, runners, any sort of high intensity sports, soccer. It's soccer season, and I grew up in the Northeast, so fall is soccer season, football season. You know, you have your tiny tots out there playing soccer, football, or even your big kids. A lot of athletes like to use this blend before participating in the sport. So, you know, you can take a couple drops of the oil, massage it into the chest, back of the neck, take a few deep breaths in your hands, and your respiratory system is sort of ready for action and ready to move. All right. So I went really quickly through my top 10 back to school must-have oils for your family to keep your kids happy and healthy. And I have tons of information that I can share with you if you have more questions. So just reach out. And if you're wondering, like I was, a couple of years ago now, how I could get these amazing oils, here's how you can do it. So you can open a wholesale account for $35 and shop a la carte, which means, you know, just sort of picking and choosing the oils or the blends that you feel like you most need to have in your house. And so that's a $35 annual enrollment fee. And you would be able to shop wholesale prices all the time. You'd have your own little account. You'd log in your back office, shop when you wanted to, and you would always receive wholesale pricing, which is about 25% below retail. Okay. The best deal is purchasing an enrollment kit where you don't pay the $35 fee. It's all sort of rolled in, and the oils are packaged together in a way that gives you the most range in terms of supporting your health. And an LRP is the monthly auto ship order. So a lot of times what people do will do an enrollment kit, and then the oils that are not in the kit, they'll put on their LRP for the next month as like sort of their wish list as you build up your arsenal as you go forward. And then actually the LRP, the monthly auto ship, can become just kind of, because you're getting wholesale pricing 25% below retail, and you know they're all safe and therapeutic and based with amazing essential oils, you start to replace things around your house with your doTERRA products. That's what I do. Okay, let me talk to you about a few of the kits, and I won't keep you too much longer. I know this is a 45-minute webinar, and I want to make sure I respect everyone's time, and I'm always available for questions afterwards. So go ahead and make sure you reach out if you have questions or more detail. The Diamond Kit is every single product doTERRA makes. So tonight we mostly only talked about the essential oils, and I did talk about a diffuser, which will come with the Diamond Kit. But as you can see here, there's a whole suite of skincare, greens, and protein powders. There's the On Guard, which is the immune boosting blend, immunity blend. They have a whole line of products, laundry soap and foaming hand soap and drops similar to cough drops that are made with On Guard, like a whole suite of products that are immune boosting and are made with On Guard. It's sort of their answer to antibacterial soap, quote unquote, right? To all those products with On Guard. And so there are the whole line of supplements and the children's supplements, fish oil and women's estrogen support, all these great, amazing products in one kit. So clearly this is a lot of product, but really it's the best value. So when you do the diamond kit and you get 25% back on the purchase right away when you place a 100 PV order for the following month. So usually what I would do is like, you're going to use up shampoo and laundry soap and things like that. So I would put that in my cart for the next month, and you're going to get 25% back on the diamond kit. And oops, go back there. You'll get 400 product points that you can use in the future. So that's really, you're getting 400 product points back, and every product purchase that you make going forward will get 25% in product points. The Every Oil Kit is includes all of the 10 oils that we talked about tonight, plus all the other essential oils that doTERRA makes, which I didn't have time to go through all of them tonight. But again, there's a diffuser, there's fractionated coconut oil, and all of the blends and single oils that doTERRA makes, including Roman chamomile right now and Melissa, which you cannot buy separately, but they are in the kit. The LRP Fast Track starting percentage is 20%. That means every product purchase going forward, you get 20% of that back in free product points to use later. And when you place a 100 PV order, say if you enrolled with the Every Oil Kit and then ordered 100 PV in September, you would get 200 product points in your loyalty reward points, product points that you can use in the future. So that's an awesome deal as well. And then I've had people who say to me, well, all the oils that you talked about tonight, the top 10 are amazing, but what if this X, Y, or Z thing happens and I need this other oils? I would love just to go ahead and have them all at my fingertips for whatever comes up. So this is an awesome kit. Oops, wrong way. And then the Natural Solutions Kit, again, definitely comes with all of the oils that we talked about tonight, and also a diffuser and the supplements, the On Guard products, digestive enzymes, some skin care products, and things like that. This is a really good one if you're thinking about, you know what, I really want to go in and clear out my whole medicine cabinet and just kind of start over with natural remedies that I know are safe and effective and have essential oils and are useful. This is a beautiful kit to do that with. 15% on purchases going forward, you get back in free product credit. And then when you place a 100 PV order the following month, you get 100 product points in your stash. The Home Essentials Kit, these are the 10 essential oils and blends that every home needs. Now, they're not all the ones we talked about tonight, but there are some of them for sure. And it's got frankincense, digestion, lavender, peppermint, lemon, On Guard, melaleuca, and breathe. So 8 of them. It doesn't have all the blends that we talked about. And this is a great starter kit if you're just kind of dipping your toe and have never used oils before. And it does come with a diffuser, which I really love, advocating for folks to have that right away. So it's a good one too. So those are the ways that you can get essential oils into your hands. Top 10 ways of keeping your kids healthy and happy this school year. Some other ideas, tips and tricks, your owie spray, some other remedies using peppermint and citrus, peppermint and lemon after school to support homework, all these kind of good ideas. I talk about them a lot on social media, in my newsletter, on my website. You can always contact me to talk about getting the oils that you need at the best possible price. I am a certified holistic health coach and a wellness advocate with doTERRA. So when you enroll with a wholesale account in doTERRA with me, you sort of get me in your back pocket. So I'm, you can ask me questions. I can help you figure out how to create a more healthy lifestyle using oils, how to keep yourself and your kids happy and healthy in all different sorts of ways through food and lifestyle changes and managing stress, and using essential oils is a huge part of that for myself and my family. And I would love to guide you on that journey. So reach out to me if you have questions, if you want to jump in and enroll with a wholesale account of your own to get started with using essential oils in your life. Go ahead and reach out to me at Hillary@wiselightwellness.com. Website is wiselightwellness.com/essential oils. You can check out my essential oils page or just poke around my whole website. And then I'm at Facebook, mostly on Facebook and Instagram at wiselightwell. And you can find me also on Pinterest and Twitter. So I really look forward to talking to you soon. Please reach out if you have any questions, and have an awesome night, and I'll see you soon.